Hey guys, it's Lori and it is food prep day. Let's zoom out a little bit. So what have I got started? I've got 2 different pans here with some onions. These are some larger diced onions. These are some smaller diced onions. Got eggs on to boil. The oven is preheating. It's actually preheated. So we're gonna do some food prep today. Over here on this side of the counter, this is the crock pot station. We got 3 crock pots set up. They have liners in them because I've got lots of food prep to do today and I'm just not going to end my day with having to clean out crocks from the crock pot. So 3 crock pots. We're going to be having beef stew in this one, low carb beef stew in this one, and this one's going to have a vegetable soup that's actually going to be a side dish. So let me get everything out and we will get started. Here's one of the first things I'm going to get started so we can have this for dinner tonight. I have some stew meat here. I thawed this. Don't pay any attention to the date. It's been in the freezer. I thawed it in the microwave. I'm pretty sure it's completely thawed. Yeah, you can kind of tell it started to cook around the edge. But anyway, I'm going to cook up this stew meat. I'm going to brown it up here in this pan. And I'm going to add some of the sauteed onions. I already pulled those out of the pan. I burned them a little bit, but that's all right. Just the ones that are on the bottom. You'll find out if you don't already know. I'm really good at burning stuff. So I'm just saying. All right, so I'm going to get some of this meat browned up, and then we're going to go over and get that stew going in the crock pot. I don't have my mic on, so I hope this isn't like loud sizzling. It doesn't seem loud to me, but it usually doesn't. And then on the video when I'm editing, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so loud. So I'm going to use some of this Kinder's blend, or is it Kinder's? I don't know. I always say Kinder's. I'm not sure exactly how it's actually pronounced, but the salt, pepper, garlic blend, and some total seasoning to season up this stew meat. Get that going. Get it seasoned up real nice. I don't want to be stingy with the seasonings. If it ends up getting kind of loud in the house, I probably will put the mic on. So I probably just should have started with it to begin with. But anyway. This is what we got going on right now. Okay, I decided to put the mic on after all, so sorry the audio is going to be a little different in the beginning than it is now, but there we go. Beef broth. I'm going to put some beef broth in this one. This one's going to be for the low carb. That's why there's 2 different pans. This one's going to be the low carb. I'm going to go ahead and put the onions in with this as well. And then this one's not going to have the onions, but I want onions in the low carb one. I'm going to go ahead with the beef broth. I could do all this in the crock pot, but this is how I'm choosing to do it. You can just throw it all in the crock pot and let it go. But it's later in the day. I want to get things kind of started cooking. We had stuff going on this morning. We had a furnace guy come to kind of just to do like the annual servicing of the furnace. And it was not good news, guys. It was not good news. We have to get a new furnace. Yay, right? Perfect timing right before the holidays. Yeah. So we'll figure that deal out. We have to wait a day or 2 for them to get back. He did all the measurements and everything that needs to be done so we can get an estimate. So yeah, he's going to give us an estimate on that. We'll see what happens, but I might add a little bit of water to this too. I'm going to thicken it with, I'm actually going to use xanthan gum. So the eggs are boiling. Put the lid on and shut that one off. Did I shut off the right one? Yes. I've had this stove for years and I still turn off and on the wrong burners all the time. Oh my goodness. Here's my xanthan gum, and yeah, that spoon's too big. Hold on. Okay. Not sure how much to use, but actually I think I'm going to let it start to heat up more. Then we'll go in with the xanthan gum. Okay, I shut this pan off. This pan is still on and it's starting to simmer a little bit. So I'm going to go with a little bit of xanthan gum. I'm not 100% sure how much to put in. This is my tablespoon. I don't want a whole tablespoon, I don't think, but I almost always overdo it with this xanthan gum, so I need to take it easy. Okay, we'll stir this in and see what happens. Okay, it's not really thickening up yet, so I'm adding a little bit more xanthan gum, and I'm probably adding too much because I'm always impatient and I don't wait long enough for it to do its job. So we'll see what happens. We can always add more water. I think my brain's on vacation today, so like I said, I'm getting a little later start than usual. So I par cooked the carrots, only I forgot to like cut them in half first. So I'm going in with the old kitchen shears. Hey, that's all right. Sometimes my brain just, just takes off for a while. I'm going to get these in the microwave and par cook them for the non-low carb beef stew. And I'm also going to put these little red potatoes in. So there's those. I'm going to par cook all this because it's getting to be close to dinner time already. It's after lunchtime. Okay, I put the stew meat in here. This is the non-low carb one with the little red potatoes, carrots, and I put a jar of this gravy in and about, I don't know, half with water, I guess, and got the rest of the gravy out. I did put some salt and pepper on top. So we'll just stir this up and let it cook. One more thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bay leaf in there with it too. Josh has been to the store. He came home with this. Utz pretzel bites. They are the peanut butter filled pretzels with chocolate on them. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. I tasted one. This is what they look like. I am definitely going to make these at Christmas time. These are so good. Everybody loves them. Now I have a bunch of stuff started and nothing finished. So that's the story of my life. I just microwaved this rutabaga for 5 minutes with the sticker on it and everything. But I'm getting it all wiped off and I'm going to peel it. Probably going to wash it with some hot water real quick. And I'm going to peel it and get it par cooking in the same water the eggs were in. The eggs are over here. Did I show you those? The eggs are over here in some ice water right now. I set this there just to have somewhere to put it. Okay. And while I'm getting this rutabaga peeled and cut up, I'll tell you about the furnace. So first there was a, I can't remember what it's called. A capacitor. A capacitor was running at only partial capacity. So he said that definitely needed replaced. And he was actually surprised that the motor was even still going with as little capacity as it had. But it was. So there was that. And he said, I have a few more things I have to check before we go ahead with replacing that. And that was like an $18 to $20 part. No big deal. Sounded good to me. So then he finds out that some kind of little pipe thing that goes up into a bigger pipe thing, which goes out of the house, it was broken. That leaks, that can leak carbon monoxide leak. So has it been leaking it? I don't know. We've had the furnace on, but not much. So I don't know, guys. But he did disconnect the gas and the electric from it and said, I can't leave with this hooked up. You can't use it. It's dangerous. He checked. My furnace so I was pregnant with Brendan when we had that installed, and he's 22. So yeah, it's older. It's an old furnace. So anyway, he looked, and they not only don't have the part, but they no longer make the part. The part is not even made anymore. So really the only option is a new furnace. It's not safe. We have to get a new furnace. So there's that story. And we do have a backup source of heat. We have a ventless heater in the living room. So Josh went to work earlier today, kind of rearranging things a little bit so that nothing was in front of it and cleaning up the heater itself. because I mean, it hasn't been used in a while. It had dust in it. It had like cat hair and stuff like that, like on the inside of it. So he got that all cleaned up and um, kind of arranged things a little bit out there for me. So yeah. Anyway, I just got to go and fire it up here to make sure it will fire up. If it doesn't, I probably just need to clean the thermocouple, which is no big deal. I've done that, I don't know how many times, lots of times, every season, pretty much. But sometimes it just fires right up too, so you never know. But we'll see how that works out. And yeah, so that's the story about the furnace. Okay, over here we have the entire rutabaga in here. I'm going to use it for two different things, the stew and the vegetable soup. So we're going to let that parboil. We're going to get the rest of this vegetable soup put together. Inside here right now is some celery. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on because I have been known to forget to turn it on. And then a couple hours later, I come back and it's like, oh, I never turned it on. Isn't that nice? We're going to put in the carrots. I did have some liquid in with those when I par cooked them, and that is fine. Cut green beans. These are frozen. Dump those right in. And I'm going to salt and pepper partway through. Where's my salt? Here it is. Okay. And we are going to throw in some peas. And this is some leftover buttered corn that I had in the fridge. That's a lot. I'm not going to put that whole thing in. I got to get my spoon. I'm just going to go ahead and put some of this leftover corn in there. I know corn's not super low carb, but that is okay. And we'll leave the rest of that. Somebody will eat it. And when the rutabaga is done, it's going to go into, and this is what I'm using for the broth. It's not going to be real overly soupy. This is a can of V8 juice. It's pretty expired. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say how far expired, but it's expired. Kind of far. I hope it looks all right. I'm going to dump some in the sink. Oh, yeah, it looks fine. We're going to dump this in. I got another can over here, too. And I actually have a couple more cans in the spare fridge if I need them. So there's that one. I'm going to dump in another. And this vegetable soup is going to be more of a side dish than it is soup. So that is what this is for. John and I both really enjoy it, but as to have it for a meal, it's like, it's okay. Maybe for a quick little lunch or something. But yeah, I'm going to get some more of the juice and I'll put that in. But yeah, it's more of a side dish for both of us, honestly. All right, I got 2 more cans of this going in. Then if I need any more liquid at all, I'm just going to use water. And this stuff is really tasty. So that'll make a nice broth for it. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. I'm going to put salt and pepper on top too. I already put salt. I'm not going to make you watch me, but I am going to go ahead and shred up all this cheese right here just to have some on hand. I have 2 sharp cheddars and 1 mild cheddar. Just going to get that shredded up real quick. 3 of the 8-ounce packages of cheese makes a really nice amount of cheese shreds. This is a gallon bag, so nice amount of cheese. Okay, I did put the rutabaga into the low carb beef stew, but I'm also going to throw a bay leaf on top of that one. And these bay leaves, I've always wondered, why do they have this kind of top? I mean, these are bay leaves. Hold on, see if I can get this with one hand. Hey, me. I mean, they're leaves. How are you supposed to... This stuff is done. It's been cooking for, let's see, about 4.5 hours now. And it, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. This is the low carb beef stew with the rutabaga instead of potatoes. This actually got a little on the runny side. This is the actual jarred gravy, and it's runny. Oh wow. But anyway, yeah, this is the regular beef stew, and let me show you. This gravy actually ended up a real nice consistency. And I ended up putting about a tablespoon, a whole tablespoonful of the xanthan gum in it. And over here is the vegetable soup. It's nice and thick, not a whole lot of broth. That's exactly what I wanted. So this is going to get put up to use as side dishes. Probably going to taste some though. And over here, I've kind of put things back together because I'm going to quit for the day, and I will be back with you again tomorrow with another food prep video. These are the keto biscuits that I made in a previous food prep, October, obviously. And they've been in the freezer, so I did get those out. They're nice and thawed, but they need popped into the oven or the air fryer. I'll probably just put them in the air fryer for just, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that, and see how they come out, because they're not 100% cooked all the way. So we're gonna have that with our beef stew tonight. Oh man, that's gonna be good. Okay, so now you see me, my face. The first time my face has been in this video for a reason, because look, I haven't done anything with myself today except for put a clip in my hair. That's it. And I'm okay with that. I have a biscuit, some of the veggie soup to try, and a little bit of beef stew to try. So we're going to try that right now. Oh, I forgot to put a little butter on my biscuit. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, I had to butter my biscuit. It's still a little warm too. Delicious. Biscuits are delicious. I'm going to try this veggie soup. I really want to try this rutabaga. I'm going to try it with other stuff. A couple peas and some corn in there. That is so good. That is just, that seriously tastes so much like a potato. If I didn't know that wasn't a potato, I might not realize it. I'm serious. And I don't say that about stuff. Like if somebody makes mashed cauliflower and says it's just like mashed potatoes, I'll tell you, no, it's not. It's just like mashed cauliflower. That really tastes like a potato. That rutabaga did. The carrots aren't cooked all the way through, but that's all right. They're still in there. Actually, yeah, that one's still turned on. So I turned the other crock pots off, but the veggie soup's still on. Now I'm going to try this beef stew. I want to get some of that gravy in there. I really want to try the gravy. Yeah, the gravy's really good. And that bay leaf, perfect. That bay leaf was perfect. That is so good. That is beef stew with no potatoes, but the rutabaga, I'm telling you, that tastes so much like a potato. I'm not kidding, it really does. I think I'm going to put some of that gravy over this biscuit. So I put some gravy. On this biscuit. One of my dad's favorite things to have, it was almost like a dessert for him, and I used to have it with him. It was bread and gravy. After dinner, if we had gravy, he'd have bread and gravy pretty much every time. And so I'm going to eat this for him today because today marks 3 years of his passing. So this is for you, Dad. That is good. Biscuits and gravy. That's good. I had to come back real quick because with the stew and the rutabaga in it that tastes so much like potato, no kidding. Seriously, if I didn't know and somebody didn't tell me, I would not know that that was a rutabaga. It really tastes like potato, especially when you mix it like with the carrot and stuff. It just really tastes like a potato. And the texture is definitely potato texture. So anyway, had to come back and say that. And with the biscuit, with the gravy over it, that feels like an outright cheat. That does not feel like anything low carb or keto at all. It's delicious. Here's everything we got from today. I put the boiled eggs in the fridge for the night. We've got the regular, or the rutabaga beef stew here. And I have this nice bowl of it for myself for dinner. We have regular beef stew for everybody else. We have, for whatever reason, in the regular beef stew, that gravy came from a jar. But it was runny. It was like really, really runny. Look at that. Can you tell? It's runny. So runny stew gravy. I saved all this gravy from it because I know the guys aren't going to eat all that gravy. So runny stew gravy. This is the rutabaga veggie soup. 1, 2, 3 of those, plus the small container right here. And that's everything from today.